Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. This is the Calrissian Kids. Unfortunately, Tony's still in the snow. He'll be back pretty soon. But yeah, today, got to talk about episode number 7 of Star Wars, The Skeleton Crew. And we're going to be in a lot of trouble, I think is the name of the episode. Yo, by far, this series has proven that you can take something that we really didn't want per se, but make it a very good, complete project. And these kids, again, kid actors, it can be rough being a kid actor. They're really doing an amazing job in regards to what they were given with their roles, because everybody has a particular archetype, and I think they're playing up those archetypes very well. However, Jude Law as Jod, or whatever he wants to call himself, is doing an amazing job carrying this cast, carrying the kids and everybody else around him. He's just elevating this whole thing to a level that I didn't even know he was gonna do. I mean, it's just really, like, it's surprising, but it is a pleasant surprise to say the least. So, a couple of things happened in this episode. One, both ships essentially return to Ad-Aden. Ad-Aden is covered by this maelstrom of a fabricated storm. Ironically, like I think Tony told us earlier, the little like things that are holding or like making like the clouds and like the lightning and things, it's like their defense system. It looks a lot like these huge satellites that Palpatine or Darth Sidious used to destroy whole planets in Operation Cinder. If you don't know what Operation Cinder is, look it up. So I kind of find that like those sort of small parallels are real interesting to me, because I'm trying to figure out who. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. But like, yeah, so they get to the planet. First, the pirates get there first. Brutus is trying to get inside the planet, and they're like, "Look, ain't nothing here." And Jai's like, "There's definitely something here. We're at the coordinates." And then he said, "Man, forget it. You lying to us." He said, "No, take somebody through there. Matter of fact, I'll go through there myself." And one of the pirates take a ship, go down. They lose the ship, and he's like, "Man, out to the airlock." So he's about to get him to walk the plank, and boom, another ship appears, and it's the kids with the just the the without the hull of the old Onyx Cinder, and they end up getting tractor beamed to the ship, and a couple of things happen. One, Jod says, "Look, we need them to get to the planet. The ship is the key." Two, the kids end up snatching up Brutus in the claw thing that from earlier, and as a bargaining chip, it's like, "Look, yo, you don't come in closer, we gonna kill the dude," because of course the kids ain't gonna kill him. And we have KB using some sort of voice modulator to make it sound like a real deep voice. The funny thing is, Jod ends up seeing that Brutus drops his blaster, looks at Brutus, thinks about it, bam, shoots Brutus. Brutus dead, so that automatically makes him the de facto leader again. He gives another rousing speech about Brutus was the one who led a mutiny, yada, yada, yada. I need to be following me, because I'm about to show y'all and give y'all riches untold. So, goes into the ship. You see, find the kids. You can be 4 little scared kids there. Get the kids. Jod takes over. And on their way to go down to the planet, there's this little funny back and forth with the kids. And of course, the pirate code comes up, and what's the girl's name? Other girl. She's like, "Look, I'm gonna claim the ship," but but Jod covers her mouth and says, "No, I claim the ship." Seeing you can only have one ship at a time. Claims the Onyx Center as his ship, and then end up going down to the planet, or start to go down to the planet. And for some reason, Shmi actually has a mind of his own, is a double crossing Jod, and thinks he throws Jod off of the ship. So they go down. A couple of fighters follow them. All the fighters get caught up in the storm, and boom, ship's going down. All of a sudden, they're like, pretty much about to be smooth sailing back down to the planet, almost home free. And then Jod shows up, able to get on board somehow because, we need some more drama. So Jod ends up decapitating Shmi in front of the kids and tells them, get down and lay down. Sick of y'all. Also, before they left the planet, there was this message that the parents gave because, the information buoy went up from the beginning of the episode. By the way, parents are so lame. Like, I think this planet is so, like, the society is such a, like, this faux utopia. Like, nobody knows how to really be sneaky or, like, devious. So there's this sort of, this kindness that they have that disallows them from just being, negative, so to speak, or having any sense of, I'm going to do my own thing. So they're running through the woods. They say, hey, got to get this information buoy up. And they're running through the woods playing keep away from the droids. The droids is just, what I'm saying, we're going to basically immobilize you one by one. And they are. Boom, get down. Boom, get down. Boom, another one. And by the last one, matter of fact, it's the whatever the lady is that has a role there. I forgot her name. And she gets the buoy up, and you should see how she did. Like, she had her hands up like it was some sort of like mystical thing. It was weird, but yeah. So the information buoy, the kids get to see it, and they see the message, and it's all the parents giving these little heartwarming messages about how you guys can make it back home. We can't give you no coordinates. However, if you find a Republic emissary, they'll know how to get to Ad-Adin, which gives the idea to Jod his mind. So Jod comes up there, pistol on them, says, look, yo, not only am I glad that I saw your parents in a little message, if y'all don't behave, I'm going to kill them slowly, methodically, like a serial killer. And that pretty much has the kids shook. So they get down to the planet. They get, autopilot kicks in, and they get assisted down to the planet. KB's mom says, oh my God, they're on a little meeting and say, hey man, y'all shouldn't have did none of that stuff. You can't have no outbound messages talking to the droids. It was like, look, yo, you droids don't be doing nothing for us. Like, we need to talk to the supervisor. It's like, boom, supervisor comes on like, I guess like a citywide intercom. It said, look, an emissary is coming in today. All non-essential workers, y'all can go home and chill. And it's cool because the way it looks, I'm thinking that they haven't had an emissary come in a really long time, because the way the ship comes down, there's this like ground comes up and it's covered with grass. And the people are just chilling on the grass and didn't even know. They see the plane, they see the ship coming down, and then they're like, hey, back up for your safety. And then you see the ground open up, and then people are running down the sides of it. Ship lands, he comes out, he meaning Jod comes out, and they're like, hey, see you the emissary, glad you came. And he said, look, these is like 4 waifs I found along the way. And he's like, and he tells the kids, no, nobody should be crossing the boundary. So he recognizes, so the droid recognizes the kids. And it's really weird how he would tell them that, the droid would tell them that, and it's been like maybe like a week or so. Like, of course they know, they didn't. It's just, again, the droid's not giving the necessary information at the time. So they said, look, the protocol says you got to go down to the midst. So the actual prize or the treasure is the mint. And they go down to the mint, say, quite the operation you got here. And he's like hype, trying his best to send communication back to to the pirate ship. And the droid's like, nah, that's not protocol. No outside communication from the barrier. And he's like, look, and Jada is pressing him. Look, I need his information to go to my ship. I need to talk to him. They was like, no, you need to, you know how to talk to the supervisor. And he was like, good, fetch him. And also your finest beverages. So Jod ends up, they stop. Kids are there. He said, look, man, tell the kids to go back inside the ship for their safety. And they walk to this vault. And you see like the whole operation with the minting going on. And it's a bunch of just like, automated, like robotics essentially. Almost like, like a robotic factory. So this huge vault door opens, and then he sees just high, wide, and a lot of depth. There's all credits. His face lights up. He asks him, he said, hey man, how many vaults or credits you guys had? The dude was like 1,139. And Jod is like, I did it. I finally hit the jackpot. Goes down. He has this Scrooge McDuck moment where he's letting the credits just fall over his face. He's making it self-raining credits. And that's kind of how the episode ends. And it was a couple things I just want to note about this episode. One, how they made some of the stuff look. And them getting down to the planet first with the first dude and like the fighter, and how they had the cockpit look. It was very, very Star Wars. It looked really good. Even how they had to go through the storm and all that, like all that was really great. The scene when they had to go into the vault, that was kind of saved a little bit of money there. But everything else, great. Also, the parents just like I said before, just really weird to me, like how they operate and how they move. Like they really don't know how to be anything, which should be like, a good thing. But in this case, they don't know how to be anything but honest. And they don't know how to be sneaky. They're just out here doing their job, they 9 to 5, go home, get their family, rinse and repeat. So that's just interesting just to see that dynamic. A couple of things that they didn't answer that I like about this episode was, one, the kids learn about the planet's purpose after they take their test, because that's what Wim's dad tells Wim. Because at the end, they all hug and embrace, and he was like, "I was going to tell you about this. We was going to tell you about this after the test." So I'm guessing that's just customary for them to do, as for the kids to do. And it's a good secret because nobody told them. And they have older kids there as well. So I guess it's a real honor code type society. A couple of things that did come up that they still need to answer. One, who's the supervisor? We hear the voice. It sounds like a regular humanoid character. So need to see who that is. If it's a reveal or not, it doesn't matter. Just still need to see who that is. Secondly, who is the benefit? Okay, all right. I know we're saying the emissaries from the Republic. However, at this time, it's the New Republic. So, did they just skip the entirety of the Galactic Empire? Since they've been here since the Old Republic, but to them, they don't know it's the Old Republic because it's just the Republic to them. Like we, what I'm saying, like designated for as in times. So, is it the Old Republic? You know what I'm saying? Like it is to them, they don't know. It's the same thing to them. So they're still giving money to the Republic, but why? But for what? If this is just the place where credits are made, it would make sense. Now let me just kind of talk this out. So let's just say, for instance, they had a stretch where they had anybody come, let's say like since the beginning of like the end of like the High Republic, the beginning of like the, the actual current timeline. And nobody's come through, and they're just stacking credits. Because even right now, when the kids have the credits and anywhere they go, they're like, yo, where'd you get these old Republic credits from? So even the people know about the currency, but they don't have new currency of that type. Like they have credits, but even like in the Mandalorian, it's different credits, and it's also New Republic credits. So the actual Republic right now is minting money somewhere else, and then everybody else has their own money. Mon Calamari got their own money. Like different people had, like different groups had their own set of credits. So there isn't like a standardized currency, sort of like the world. You got euros, you got yen, you got pesos, you got the dollar, so on and so forth. So it seems like there's been some sort of gap. But to have this planet here just for the sole purpose of making money, and then had them cut off, and also had them follow these strict and stringent rules, is just interesting. Because does the role of the supervisor, does that get passed down to somebody else, and they just hold on to the secret, and they're just keeping the society rolling without anybody knowing about it? This is just a lot. There's so many questions. Because even the Onyx Cinder itself, like that's a long time ago. Because the fact that it's like a sea shanty, it's lore to them, like in universal lore, means that happened a long time ago too. Like even the ship itself was under stuff. Like it was like in an embankment, covered. It looked like people went over there before to try to like I guess like, didn't it say they tried to make like a settlement or something over there, like some sort of, either way. They don't want people in that area where the Onyx Cinder was on the planet before the kids found it. So it's just like that part of it to me is still very interesting. Aside from the actual performances and the writing of the show itself, that was written by John Watson, somebody else. They did a good job kind of wrapping the story up and leaving us on a very good cliffhanger, because at the end we have Jod, kicking the door, waving the 4-4 at them, metaphorically, with his lightsaber, and cut to black. So I really enjoyed this episode. Like, this is kind of like the essence of what Star Wars should be. I'm watching this with my 9-year-old, and they into it. And to be honest, if you know Star Wars, the median age for Star Wars should be a 10-year-old. So a 10-year-old should understand what's going on. Of course, there's deeper meaning and layer and, innuendo and themes and such that are embedded into it. But your 10-year-old kid should understand and appreciate what's going on screen. And I think this very surprising series is doing just that. And also, I do like how they are paying stuff off, because they set everything up. First 2 episodes were kind of slow. The end of episode 2 kind of laid the groundwork for everything else. And boom, like this has been a good series. You know who else did this? Andor. Like, I know people have this beloved feeling for Andor because it ended up being like a media darling. And a lot of the fandom loved it too. But the first 3 episodes of Andor are hella slow. So I need y'all to really remember that when y'all watch Andor season 2. Anyway, that's all I got. If you saw something that I didn't see or something that stood out to you, write it in the comments. We will be back next week with the finale of this. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe to all the stuff. Still got announcements coming about some other stuff we're going to be doing here in the very near future. TikTok, IG, Threads. Probably about to get on Blue Sky in a minute, but we'll see. Oh yeah, subscribe on YouTube and all that stuff if you appreciate what you just watched and heard. See you the next time.